Hi, I'm Inês, and with thousands of TV shows to choose from, it can be quite difficult to pick out your next watch. And I'm here to help you and make sure that you don't miss out on any amazing and high quality shows, and so that you can find the best shows for you. At this point in time, I've watched hundreds of TV shows, and if you're like me, the more you watch, the harder it is to find new shows to fall in love with. With limited series and shorter seasons, you can very quickly finish a show and constantly find yourself in the position of once again trying to figure out what to watch next. I also used to spend a lot of time searching and experimenting new TV shows, only to end up with a plain bad show or something that just wasn't for me. So those are all problems, but I'm here to give you solutions. So in this video, I want to share with you the main methods that I have found are the best to decide what to watch next, which have helped me find many of my favorite series. I will start with new releases, then move on to older shows, and finish with some lesser known methods, with the best websites to find similar shows to your favorite series. So for recently released shows and seasons, I like to start with Rotten Tomatoes. Just go to their website, click on TV shows, and then you are going to sort by newest, and select hot on the popcorn meter, and that's the user reviews, and fresh for the tomato meter, which are the critics' reviews. Just bear in mind that the score that you see is not the average rating, but the percentage of users who rated a show 3.5 stars or higher, or the percentage of critics that gave it a positive review. Meaning that if the score that you see is 76, then 76% of the people who voted gave it at least 3.5. But you can know more about the ratings if you click on them. You can also sort by genre, but when I'm searching for a new TV show, I tend to prefer not to limit myself too much since I like a lot of different things. Now, I do understand that you may be reticent to use websites like Rotten Tomatoes since you are relying on other people's opinions regarding the quality of a show, and some of the websites have been known to take some liberties with their scores. In reality, there is nothing better than actually trying a few episodes yourself, since just because a TV show is a great fit for someone else, it doesn't mean that it's for you. But I have found that these reviews, if they have a big enough sample size, are a pretty good place to start. More than anything, this allows you to exclude all the TV shows with bad ratings, so you don't waste your time on those. I have found that very rarely do I like a TV show that has a bad score, so maybe check out some of your favorite TV shows and see their ratings to see how your taste matches with the general public. So by doing this, I'm left with the new TV shows that people think are at least passable. And now I can pick from those the TV shows that I think may interest me the most, based on the synopsis and genre, for example. I don't tend to focus too heavily on the score. It can be 60, it can be 90. In reality, there are a lot of series with 90% ratings that I don't like just because it's not my type of show. For example, I'm not a huge fan of medical shows or sci-fi, so I know that probably those wouldn't be my first pick. I think it's important to own our own TV tastes because entertainment is subjective, and we should be proud of what we enjoy, regardless of ratings or awards. Let's move on to older shows. I think many times older shows get overlooked because there just aren't as many people talking about them right now, and they are not as heavily marketed by streaming services. But many amazing shows are as good now as they were 10 or 20 years ago, and they can definitely compete with what is being produced nowadays. So here I use IMDb Advanced Title Search. You just Google it and it basically has every TV show ever made, and a lot of amazing filters that are really going to help you narrow it down. First, on title type you click TV series and TV miniseries, and then the next filters are up to you. But on a release date, let's put 1994, the year that Friends was released. But you can also put a narrower period. For example, sometimes I feel like finding a new teen show from the 2000s. On the IMDb rating, I put 7 or more, but again, here you can see what are the usual ratings of the TV shows that you like. Then for the number of votes, I tend to put more than 10,000. This is what's going to make the IMDb rating have some value. You can also pick the genre and language. Once you filter, you can narrow it as much as you want, and you can sort it in many ways. I tend to try different orders to get different results, but user ratings is always a classic. Before I move on to lesser known ways of finding TV shows, let me also talk to you about another website that can come very handy in your search. And that is Just Watch. In Just Watch you can put the streaming services that you have and it will tell you what series are available in those in your country. I tend to use it more so I can quickly pick a movie on a Friday night, but it works for TV shows as well. It also has some filters, including IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes ratings. For me, one of its best features is the fact that in the genre filters, you can exclude some genres, for example horror, which I think is a feature that is missing in the other two websites. But I prefer the newest sorting feature in Rotten Tomatoes to the release year sorting on Just Watch. I hope so far this video is useful to you, and let's move on to how to find similar shows to your favorite series. A lot of times I watch a show and I become completely obsessed with it, and then all I want is to try and find shows exactly like that one. Or you just know that you love historical dramas and you need to find a way to watch every single historical drama ever made. Here is where these two websites can be useful. The first one is Best Similar, and I will start by saying that this website could use some upgrading, but I have found it especially useful in finding lesser known shows. While mostly a film website in recent years, it has also started to include TV shows. All you do is write the name of a TV show you like, let's do Young Royals for example, and it gives you recommendations of series and movies with similar tags, and you can also give your opinion about their suggestions and help them improve. The tag feature is also really useful. Imagine that you like Young Royals because of the royal family storyline, and you want to watch more shows like that. Then all you do is search that tag and it will give you a list of movies and TV shows that have that specific tag. The major downside of this site is that it doesn't have filters, and so you can't choose to see only TV shows or only movies. Finally, the last website that I have for you is actually a subreddit. So you go on the Reddit website and you search r/television suggestions. This is basically a forum where people can ask for TV suggestions, as the name indicates, or talk about TV shows they've seen. What a lot of people do is write a list of their favorite TV shows and ask people to give them suggestions based on that, or simply ask for a series similar to a specific show or with a specific theme. I like this website because you get suggestions from actual people that have actually watched the series, and the more people recommend the same show, the more likely is it that it's a good suggestion. To start, you can just look around and search for a TV show that you like, let's do The Great for example, and see if anyone has already asked for recommendations on similar shows. Thank you so much for sticking through the end. I hope this message helped you out, and in this channel I talk a lot about TV shows and movies, so subscribing can be another way of being introduced to new TV shows. If you use another method to choose what to watch next, please let me know about it in the comments below and let's help each other out.